So Liza's cat had 6 kittens. When Liza and her brother weighed all the kittens together, they weighed 4 pounds 2 ounces. Since all the kittens are about the same size, about how many ounces does each kitten weigh? Okay, so what do you notice about this problem to start with? Thomas?
That there were 6 kittens, and they weighed 4.2 ounces, and they're 16 ounces.
Okay, so he's thinking ahead here. So how many equal parts should I make on this tape diagram? Lexi?
6.
1 for each of the kittens, right?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and do that now. You need to stop talking. And Thomas said all together those 6 kittens weigh 4 pounds
2 ounces.
2 ounces. Okay?
16 ounces.
And he's thinking ahead, thinking there's 16 ounces in a pound. Okay, so to start with, how would you figure this out? Would you take off the 2 ounces to start with?
Yes.
And just do 4 pounds. Okay, so the first thing you need to write is 4 pounds equals 4 copies of what? This is from Thursday and Friday of last week. 4 copies of what?
4 copies of 1 pound.
1 pound. I'll make it like that so you can tell it's a 1. Okay? And then 2 more equal signs, right? 4 copies of, Thomas already told us how many ounces are in a pound. How many?
16.
16 ounces. So to solve this problem, 4 copies of 16 ounces, is this my best strategy, really?
Yes. Yes.
It is. Why do you say it like that?
60.
So what's the answer here?
64.
64 ounces. Now, what do I have to add back in?
The 2.
The 2 that I took out to make it easier. So 64 plus 2 ounces equals
66.
66 ounces. So since all the kittens are the same size, about how many ounces does each kitten weigh?
66 ounces.
So we've got 66 units. No, I'm sorry, not 66. 6 kittens, right? Equals 66 ounces. So how do I figure out 1 unit, boys and girls?
11.
Okay, what'd you do in your head?
66 divided by 6.
Good. So 1 unit equals 11 ounces. Okay, if you didn't write that, you should write it now. Okay, let's take a look at the second problem. This one says a container of oregano is 17 pounds heavier than a container of peppercorns. Now, first of all, oregano is that spice that you shake on, like when you make spaghetti sauce and pizza sauce. So I'm thinking they were shopping at Sam's or something. Or they got like a whole pallet of oregano. Because together, the peppercorns and oregano cost weigh 253 pounds. No, I think it's Italian, but I don't know. Oregano, but I don't know.
Google it.
Not right now. I'm trying to do math. So here's what I know. Peppercorns are kind of like when you grind your own pepper. You know how you got those bigger pieces that you grind? Well, peppercorns are less spicy than black pepper, I'm pretty sure. Okay? But you can still grind them like that. So basically, here's what it says. The peppercorns will be sold in 1 ounce bags. So we've got to figure out, by this much information, how many bags of peppercorns will be sold.
Oh, I have a feeling.
Okay, now, first thing I know is that we have oregano and peppercorns, so I think I'm going to need 2 tape diagrams. Now, before you draw any tape diagrams, let's talk about which one we think is the biggest. A container of oregano is 17 pounds heavier than a container of peppercorns. Which one's Bigger.
Oregano.
Oregano. So make this tape diagram now, but don't do anything else. Okay? And we know that the oregano has 17 pounds more in it. So why don't I just put 17 right here? 17 pounds. Now how big should I make the peppercorn one then?
It's really small.
Well, it's got, you're getting
The
close.
size of right where that line is.
Right where that line is, good.
So
Because we know the peppercorns are 17 pounds less, couldn't we just kind of do it like this?
Yeah.
That's about right, isn't it?
yeah.
So just eyeball it the best you can.
Okay.
So we don't know this amount, we don't know this amount, but we do know that this is 253 pounds right here. That's what we know. Okay, so with these two numbers that I have, what makes the most sense for what kind of problem? Now I'm going to read this first one again. A container of oregano is 17 pounds heavier than a container of peppercorns. So could I say it's 17 pounds more?
Yeah. Less.
When something is more, that means this peppercorns is less. What problem would you do, Lupita? I only have two numbers here.
The turkey or whatever you mean.
No, I don't think we're going to do multiplication because it doesn't say each. So, Morgan, what do you think?
Division.
Okay. What do you think, Miley? She kind of thinks it's
she
going to
got
be
mine.
subtraction. I agree with you, okay? So, there's no way to do this until you just get started, see if it makes any sense. So when Miley said, I kind of think it's going to be subtraction, we're just going to try that, okay? So subtract that for me. There is regrouping. You might as well practice regrouping, boys and girls.
Oh wait, I'm not supposed to work ahead. Thomas.
So, did you get what I got?
Yeah. Yep.
So 236 pounds is what we have to work with. Now I'm going to talk you through this. Okay? I know that I have 2 units left, correct?
Yes.
2 units equals 236 pounds. That's what I know. I need to figure out just 1 unit so I can know the peppercorns. So if 2 units equals 236
Minus.
and 1 unit equals blank, how am I going to figure that out?
Division.
Okay, divided by what?
17.
2. So I have 2 left. Between the 2 of these, I have 236, right?
Yes.
So there and there. So does it make sense to divide this number in half and it'll give me those 2 numbers? Okay, divide it in half using long division.
Oh, never mind.
So how many groups of 2 can I make out of 2?
1.
1. Jose, you need to follow.
I had this whole problem worked out in my head before we played.
Okay, let's see if you did it right in your head, okay? So how many groups of 2 can I make out of 3?
1.
How many will be left over?
1. Carry on to 6. Divided by 2 is 8.
So now we know 1 unit is what?
118.
118 pounds. But here's the problem. The peppercorns will be sold in 1 ounce bags.
More division.
No, we're going to convert pounds to ounces. So we have 118 pounds equals 118 copies of 1
No.
pound.
Oh, pound.
Right? Okay, write that down. That's from Thursday and Friday's lesson. See why I didn't want Genesis and Christian to try and do this?
Yeah.
Be too confusing. Okay, now I'm going to convert it. So 118 copies of how many ounces, somebody besides Thomas, are in a pound? Tobias,
16.
thank you for raising your hand.
Sorry.
That's okay. 16 ounces. So how do I figure that out? Standard algorithm. How many partial products will you have?
3.
Two. Okay, go ahead and do standard algorithm. Michael, skip ahead to this. I'm about ready to have you watch the video today after school. Do the standard algorithm for multiplication. 118 times 16.
Wow, that's a lot of bags. That is a lot of bags.
Oh, have I ever told you I really like ones?
Me too.
Yeah, because they're a lot easier to multiply with.
Yes.
They are.
I can just
So
do
for ounces, it looks to me like I have,
1,888 ounces of peppercorn.
and if that's how many ounces I have, then that's how many bags I have, because it's 1 ounce bags.
I'm surprised it wasn't 888.
I know.
I thought it was 2.
Okay, let's move ahead to number 4.
Oh,
I like this one.
I got 2 papers. I just realized.
Okay, well you can just put one over here. So I'm going to read this, and then we'll solve it. We have 7 minutes. I think we can do it in 7 minutes.
Yeah, we can do it, definitely.
When making a batch of orange juice for her basketball team, Jackie used 5 times as much water as concentrate. There were 32 more cups of water than concentrate. So I got 2 tape diagrams again, don't I?
Yep.
Concentrate and water. Now, have you ever made the orange juice that you get in the freezer section, and you have to squeeze that mushy stuff out,
Yes.
and then mix it with water, and it makes orange juice, okay? That mushy stuff in the little can from the freezer department is called concentrate, okay? So, and it's very strong.
Yeah.
You don't want to try it if it's lemonade because it'll be too sour. Okay, so which one of these has more, the water or the concentrate?
Water.
Okay, let's make that one, whoops,
That-
make that one larger.
This is kind of a ratio.
Kind of is. And then how many times more water is there?
5.
5. So how many equal pieces do I need?
5.
5. And then what else do we know about the water?
That,
Why did I make the concentrate only the size of one of those?
Because it's 5 times.
Because it's 5 times more. Good. Like Thomas said, 5 to 1. Or 1 to 5.
Stuff on calling me
Okay, well thank you for doing that. So now, think back in your mind for a minute, okay? When you were in first grade maybe, and it doesn't matter, you were learning graphs. Oh, that's a terrible line. Okay? And on those graphs, they might have asked you what your favorite fruit was.
Oh, yeah.
And some of you chose apple, and maybe some of you chose oranges, okay? And then, so then you had shaded, but only one child chose oranges, okay? How many more chose apples?
2.
2. We didn't do 3 minus 1, did we? We just looked at these empty spaces and said, okay, there's 2 more.
So there's 4.
So if I have 32 more cups of water than concentrate, that has to be all the water that isn't the same as concentrate. And this is 32 cups right here. Now how do I do that? Because I know that all of this water right here and the rest of my tape diagram doesn't match up with any of the concentrate. It's all more. Okay, so now I got to figure out, well, how much is in each box?
32.
Well, there's 32 in 4 boxes. So watch me. I'm going to do 4 units equals 32 cups, right? So how much would 1 unit be?
8.
What did you do to get 8?
Divided by 4 times 8.
4 times 8 equals 32, or 32 divided by 4 equals 8. Okay, so each of these has 8. And we know enough about tape diagrams to know that this one has to have 8 also. The first one does. And since the concentrate is the same size, they all have 8. So how many total ounces of juice did she make?
Remember the queen thing?
8
What?
times.
In a minute. Well, we got 32 cups of water, plus 8 more. That's 40 cups of water, plus 8 more.
48.
48. Could you do 6 times 8 equals 48?
Yes.
Okay, so the total is 48 cups of orange juice, right?
Yes.
I'm going to write OJ. Thomas is reading ahead, thinking, okay, we're going to have to talk about the queen and the princesses and all that. So it says she poured the juice into quart containers. How many containers could she fill?
There's 2 cups in each.
All right, so help me fill this out. We had 2 princesses, and then what?
2 cups.
Okay, so 48 cups equals 48 copies of 1 cup. Write that down. And then, how many quarts is 1 cup equal to? There's only 1 cup right here, and this is a quart. It's going to be a fraction. Go ahead and say it. 1 out of,
4.
1/4.
so 1/4 quart is the same thing as 1 cup. So we'll do 48 times 1/4 would be 48 fourths. What's 48 divided by 4? 12. So how many quart containers
12.
would she fill? 12 of them.